and how the evolution has happened, we will see now. In the pre-colonial era, before the Portuguese, Dutch, and English invaded the country, all the land or the ownership of the land was under the king. And cinnamon was still a wild plant. No one put attempts to grow it or cultivate it. And there was a system called Mahabharata system where a certain caste was assigned with all the activities related to cinnamon. Means starting from harvesting to processing to trading, these Mahabharata people were the responsible personals, and they directly sent to the account of king. Right. Then colonial era started. First to come was Portuguese. They relentlessly exploited the coastal belt and not go beyond that because they could capture only the coastal belt of the island, and they exploited the cinnamon bushes, and they maintained the Mahabharata system. They did not abolish or they did not stop the Mahabharata system. They went on, they continued with the Mahabharata system. However, all the cinnamon bushes in the coastal belt, the ownership was with the Portuguese. It doesn't matter whose land it was, still the ownership was with the Portuguese. They even went this far. I mean, they prohibited killing crows even. Guess what? They observed that cinnamon seeds were ingested by crows, and they automatically or naturally they spread the bushes cultivation, right? So that they saw that this is a very good way of propagation, and they prohibited killing crows. They went that far with this valuable spice. Then after that, the Dutch again, they captured the coastal belt. The difference between Portuguese and Dutch, even though the Portuguese did not try anything or they put to develop the cultivation, Dutch started the cultivation. There was a governor named Dutch governor Falk, was the first person to try an experimental cultivation. You will not believe me. The first experimental cultivation of cinnamon happened at Mattakulli, Colombo. It was where his quarters was. He started the cultivation of cinnamon. It was challenging because until then, it was an established idea that cinnamon is a wild plant and it cannot be grown. He took this challenge and cultivated it, and expansion of cultivation started from there. After that, Dutch had to leave the country and English came. English again further expanded the cultivation, but British colonial period, during the colonial period, the decline of the crop also started to happen because of the Second World War and all that. They had to leave the country. Towards the end of their era, they had even to sell their cultivations. The best cultivation of cinnamon was in Cinnamon Garden. Now, today we call it Kurduwatta, Colombo 7. It was full of cinnamon cultivation and Maradano also. Now, when they started selling these lands, they were bought by Sinhalese people. And that was the start of the rise of the Sinhalese middle class based on cinnamon. And that shows us that cinnamon is not just a crop. It was the main drive for a social revolution. First thing is that these Europeans came to Asian countries, so they invaded Sri Lanka because of cinnamon. And this social revolution also happened because of this important, valuable crop. Then, after the British or English people left, post-colonial era, now we live, started. Unfortunately, after that, the attention of the governments was more towards tea, rubber, coconut, like other crops, and the attention on cinnamon was sort of low. Now only Ceylon cinnamon or Sri Lankan cinnamon, our cinnamon, is becoming a booming industry. Now it has more attention than it had ever.